a very warm welcome. You're watching Times Now Live Wire with me, Priya Behel. The story that we are focusing on right now was the troubles that Delhi faced just a few weeks ago. The national capital was drowning, not due to nature's fury, but because of a man-made disaster. This is the contention of Delhi LG, who has now written a scathing letter to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, listing out in great details the critical lapses that he contends led to embarrassing flooding of even areas like Rajghat and the Supreme Court. He says that Hathni Kund barrage was blamed by Aam Aadmi Party for causing flooding, but might not have been the real reason. Let's go across to Siddharth, my colleague, to understand the content of this letter in just a bit. But the details that we can tell you right now that have emerged are that in this letter that has been written, the LG has said that while Delhi government has been repeatedly blaming the water in excess that was released from Hathni Kund barrage for having drowned parts of Delhi, the worst flooding actually happened in 1978. And the amount of water that had been discharged back then was 8.28 lakh cusecs. And in 2023, it was just half of that amount of water that was discharged. In fact, the highest discharge, I stand corrected, was in 2019, which was 8.28 lakh cusecs. This year, it was only 3.59 lakh cusecs that was released from Hathni Kund barrage. There are more details that have emerged from the letter as well. But first up, let's go across to Siddharth.
Yeah, Priya, so it's a fairly detailed communication that's gone from the Lieutenant Governor's office, Mr. Vinay Kumar Saxena, writing to Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Now, this is essentially taking stock of the situation in the national capital during the flood-ravaged month of July, where, of course, a lot of things went wrong with respect to how the flood situation was handled in Delhi. And the Lieutenant Governor, apart from highlighting what the plight of the people actually was, has actually made a series of recommendations now to the Delhi Chief Minister that ought to be followed. And let me just take you through the operative portion of his recommendations. He says that one should assign permanent ownership of Yamuna River stream to one department of the lines of the DDA, being the exclusive owner of the Yamuna floodplain, and put all other stakeholder departments as adjuncts tasked with specific responsibilities. He'd highlighted the absolutely chaotic nature of the administration due to the bureaucracy in different departments being in charge of the Yamuna stream, as opposed to one nodal agency which could have perhaps handled the situation in a more efficient manner. The other recommendation he makes is that the existing ambiguity owing to multiplicity of ownership of outfalling drains into the Yamuna through the respective regulators and portions upstream of them needs to be removed by giving clear-cut responsibilities to departments. It has come to my notice, he says, that in the city, while the PWD, the MCD, the INFCD, which is the Irrigation and Flood Department, own the drains, the regulators are owned by the INFC department, and the PWD INFCD is responsible for operating pumps situated at the regulators. So there are a series of recommendations. Let me just take you through one more.